And starting to the bottom right of the map, we have Virginia Green Wings, our Zerg player. In red it is.
Jin Air Green Wing Savage.
And his opponent starts to the top left, of course, here on Belgium. It is
LGIM YoDa.
YoDa in game number 1, having a couple of really good moments, but also in the end a little bit shaky with a few of his decisions that he made, one of them leaving the game itself. So he gave up the match against Songari. Now he's up against Savage. On the other hand, would be great for him if he could take this one, and he would find himself in the 2-1 position in the group. Same is true for Savage. Both of them are on exactly the same map score. And it looks like Savage is just trying to early drone scout to find out what's going on. He would love to block an early command center here.
Yeah, and it looks like he'll be able to. Very annoying here for YoDa. He's going to have to pull 2 SCVs to build that command center. Savage, on the other hand, can still go for the hatchery first, and he sends his drone down to do just that. He blocks it on the low ground, which is kind of interesting, because he could have easily blocked at the natural first. And I think YoDa might actually get it up now. No? That's actually pretty cool. He knows the timing to where he can just walk back up here to block. YoDa sends the second SCV.
You know, one thing is super funny to me. When you look at statistics for the two players, when you look at match histories, it always gives you a bit of an indication of how good a player is and how likely his chances to win are here. And then you look at Savage and you see that he has the most horrible win ratio that he could possibly have in this matchup. The guy only wins 14% of his Zerg versus Terrans. And he has played 7 maps so far. He won a single map. 1 map. Guess who he won that map against?
YoDa?
Yeah. So he loses every single Zerg versus Terran. But he won the 1 best of 1 that he played against YoDa. So that's always really, really funny when that happens. I mean, Savage really not the guy where you say, okay, he's the sniper against Terran. But he was successful against YoDa in the past. That could, of course, also mean that YoDa is not kind of accustomed to his style and is like, well, I'm going to make this work. We mentioned earlier that Flying took out YoDa just a few weeks ago, but YoDa was able to take that match as well, so let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, you know, while it is a pretty remarkable stat, we don't know what happened in that game. I didn't watch that game, if I don't remember correctly. I don't think I saw that one. It could have even been just like a 6-4 versus a CC first on a 2-player map where YoDa didn't scout.
Yeah, that was the best of 1, so that's definitely the chance.
But regardless, you know, YoDa is playing the same build that he played against Songduri right now. He is adding the gas. He's going to get that factory up pretty normally. The Overlord up to the top to scout. Already in the know about this. Sends another Overlord to the left side where he takes his 3rd base. Savage dropping his 3rd. Oh, that's actually him just checking with his early. He's not taking a 3rd base that fast, I was going to say. But the factory coming out here will give YoDa a little bit of map control with the Hellions. We'll see if Savage wants to be aggressive. So far, it doesn't look like it. He hasn't added any gases just yet.
Yeah, the build really worked out very well for YoDa, but keep in mind that he also delayed his 3rd base, and usually Terran is really adamant about getting the 3rd out quite early. One of the big key moments here was that YoDa, with the delaying of the 3rd base, had more units out, so he could defend very easily against Songari's early attack. Yeah. Savage is adding the double gas, actually a little bit faster than you would usually expect here.
You know, I just saw that Legend saw that the Overlord checked and saw there was no gas in the top here, but there's actually a gas at the natural that YoDa has taken secretly. So that's kind of a sneaky, clever play by YoDa that might throw his opponent off here a little bit. Maybe that's why Savage is taking his gas in response, because he expects that he can get his upgrades out a little bit faster.
With the Hellions on the map, he can definitely make sure that he is forcing potential creep back a little bit more and controls the map for now. For the Zerg, on the other hand, we have now straight the move into speed, and he has that 3rd base. He could use that either for the production or, of course, saturated. 9 additional drones on the way, but he is still mining gas, so he never really pulled out of that, which, of course, makes sense with the double gas that he already has. Adding a 3rd one right now. Looks like we're going to see a bit more of a tech build here.
Yep. There go the Evolution Chambers to do just that, getting the upgrades out. And a Banshee and Cloak is started with YoDa. That's why he took that extra gas. I was wondering if he was going to do this. This is such a strange build to see, but with the new Cloak cost, it makes a lot more sense. I just don't know how effective it's going to be. The evolution chambers not even necessary for spores, but he even has those. He does have the extra queens.
But you gain the map control. You can already pressure the queens with the Hellions, and then the Banshees come in and can take them out. And especially when the Zerg player is relying on 3 bases, the Banshees become really valuable because you can just bounce between the bases. You can take down a couple of Harvesters. And it's not only that, you just limit the Zerg and you pressure him, and that works really well. The Banshee also pretty decent if you are facing a Roach Baneling aggression. So if you get the Banshee out, you can target down either the Roaches or the Banelings. So it's a pretty decent build to have. It's something that we have seen in the past. It just kind of fell off the grid because other builds were just so much more effective.
Look at this, taking a 3rd command center right now, and oh, these drones sliding over. Not spotted, luckily for him. YoDa sending that first Banshee across now. I wonder how much damage this can really do. The Hellions working together with the Banshees might be able to do a lot. Spores started immediately here.
He should be able to fend this off quite well because he committed to extra queens. And if you do that, that gives you a bit of an edge. But the Hellions are moving in, and as I said earlier, if he's able to get that, but that was exactly what Savage was waiting for. He's trying to take down those Hellions, but nice micro here by YoDa. And now suddenly this is a pretty dire situation for the Zerg player. He's in a spot where YoDa could always just try to go in with the Hellions again, damage those queens, then go move in with the Banshees as well.
He started the Caduceus reactor there for a second. I think that was actually him just checking to see if cloak finishing may have accidentally clicked on something, but 1-1 upgrades now starting for YoDa, very delayed by this. So if he doesn't do a little bit more damage, if he doesn't get a little bit more control with this, then his investment is not going to have paid off, and the Savage's upgrades can really kick in.
We are going to see apparently like a Roach Baneling aggression on 1-1 upgrades for the Banelings and the Zergling follow-up, going into speed for both now. That is quite the interesting move here. Rolling the dice a little bit. A few of the Harvesters taken out. He needs to be careful because the Overseer is currently moving. There is no Spore Caller here.
Yeah, he moved it looks like, and this is going to cost him dearly. He loses so many drones there. 1 Banshee does go down. The second one looks like it'll escape for now. But in total, actually, YoDa killed 11 Harvesters this game. He still has the Hellions in the middle of the map. Then the Roach Baneling follow-up can be quite deadly, but YoDa's got so much production. He's got so much time now.
Yeah, I'm asking myself currently if he's really going for that, only building 1 Overlord.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it, to be honest, because I don't know why he's getting the Roach speed if he wouldn't do it, but I don't think he's going to do it. Well, now he adds the extra Overlords.
Okay, he didn't see the Baneliness, by the way. He only saw the Roachborn here. The problem that I really have with this is that I don't think that it's going to do the damage that Savage is hoping for. He builds 5 Overlords, and it seems to be a little bit like, I don't know, it seems to be really a lot hit or miss. And if that is spotted, and there's a good chance that it will be, then the Banshee alone is already taking down a few of the Banelings.
Yeah.
3 bunkers are already being built.
Exactly.
1 will be done.
He sees the Roach Warren, and YoDa's taking no chances here. Now another hatch is being added, a macro hatchery here. 23 roaches, and every scan and every Viking scout has not seen any larva morphing, so YoDa knows he was waiting, just waiting before he starts the roaches. He starts 2-2 here. This is kind of a strange build because he's committing so much to roaches, but he's also not getting the roach upgrades besides the Carapace.
He's supply blocked right now, thanks to the Viking that just took down another Overlord. How many Zerglings does he have?
Right now he has
19, so that would help him definitely a little bit with the Banelings, but this is very, it's not completely all in since there are 3 bases and the 4th is being taken, but this attack is a little bit half-hearted.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. 13 more Banelings being morphed right now. This base is not going to be landed for long if Savage decides to target it, but of course he wants to do the damage where it counts at the natural. The bunkers that are up right now, he has 3 bunkers up, he has 3 Widow Mines, he has several Marauders, 4 Marauders.
There's nothing scouted though. Now the Hellions are moving in and they should find out what's happening immediately upon realizing he moves them back. He needs the SCVs there, but nice hits so far. And as I said earlier, the Banshees alone are already helping out with this.
Yeah.
He can now target out a couple of the Banelings.
You should.
It's not going to destroy this, but still, this is still a difficult attack to face. And here come those Banelings and the Widow Mines. Do they get their hits off? Banelings are already gone, and there's just not enough.
YoDa
by a long
crushes
shot.
this attack and laughs at it as he chases it home because now he's up 30 supply. He made even a 4th bunker there, and Savage, he tries to remax with Roaches, but YoDa has the much better composition by far right now. He has 4 medevacs, even the Banshee continuing to do damage. This is nice, but YoDa all he has to do is lift.
There's a reason why Savage has just such a horrible win ratio in this matchup, and it's very transparent now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The top right attack, that was like nice and well done, but the Zerglings alone are being taken out at 4th base, of course, mainly for production at the beginning. He wanted to fall back on that if possible, but he didn't do any damage at the top left, and this is why YoDa can move in and take it out without having any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah, YoDa, he evens up the upgrades that he was behind in briefly, and now actually adding a second factory so he can get more Widow Mines, get the Widow Mine upgrade. He's got a 3rd base that's easily saturated. He's got a wall set up right now. He's making 5 depots there. YoDa massively ahead in this game right now. The tech that Savage has becomes less and less valuable as time goes on. Doesn't have a Spire, doesn't have an Infestation Pit.
Roaches just don't scale into the late game.
Yeah, they just don't. I mean, they're too big. They take up a lot of supply, and they don't have the healing power of the Medivacs. They can't do their damage quickly enough to finish these units off. He needs more Banelings. I think it looks like he just wants to do a second final attack, and I think YoDa, as long as he, well, you know, he's out of position here.
Yeah, he scans and he sees it now. He's trying to flank, but he needs to set that up at home. So the position is actually a really decent one for Savage. That was kind of what he could hope for. And now he's caught between the main and the army here, though. That is a little bit working against him, but the splits here, the splits are decent for YoDa. And keep in mind that those Marauders really can take a punch.
Yeah, they took a ton of punches on those Banelings. YoDa's 3rd base here looks like he is going to lose some of his SCVs, but the defense is so solid that naturally he's got the rest of his units running in. Savage, his army is pushed back here. The rest of the Lings are taking their time across the map.
Yeah, but now the Roaches are being attacked. They're trying to run away and take down as many of the Harvesters as they possibly can, but they're just not enough hits.
Not enough hits, no more Banelings.
YoDa can afford to lose a few Harvesters. He has 3 CCs, and what Savage can't afford is losing this many units.
Yeah, he canceled his 4th. YoDa forced to cancel.
Drop play at the bottom right.
Yeah, drop play at the bottom right. Looks like it was finally shut down.
Yeah, there was a drop at the main base.
And he lost a lot. Right now, YoDa's only 6 Harvesters down with 3 bases with all the Mules. The Banshee here even killing Zerglings. I don't even know what those Zerglings were doing. They can't chase a Banshee. And +3 has started for YoDa, and that's kind of the nail in the coffin here. 15 more Roaches that aren't going to be useful anymore. He's getting the bunkers up. His army has hit that critical mass.
There was a lot of resources for Savage, but he just did not have the lava to really utilize those. Now
resources lost is ridiculous. Like 6,000 more resources lost for Savage here.
Yeah, in favor of a Terran player. This is definitely not what you want to have. Not in this scenario, like not that much.
That's the opposite outcome
And
you're looking for when you do this.
He builds Roaches, and as we said, Roaches just don't scale into the late game, and with the +3 attack upgrade already started, with the Drilling Claws on the board, this is way too much for Savage to deal with.
It's just like, it's the only thing he feels like he can do, because switching tech, if he tries to do that, then YoDa will just kill him. It's the only tech he has, but it's just not good. It's just no longer, you know, once you get past a certain point in the game, Roach tech is not something you want to fight against bio armies with. This Baneling run by, even if it kills every SCV, is ghastly. He's not spending it to defend his bases over here, which he will lose.
The only thing that can win the game for Savage now would be amazing Baneling hit if YoDa does not really focus on his army.
And I don't even...
Null takes on a few of the Banelings. They will get their kills. They will get their kills,
Yeah.
but even that was not worth it.
Not worth it. Not in this case for him. And YoDa actually turns around, which is, I find, a little bit surprising. But his drop play continues to do damage. He's killing more Harvesters here.
I just think that YoDa is playing the safe. He has +3/+3 started.
He has the additional command center as well that he just finished, and he even has another one started behind it.
He knows there's no 4th base, so he doesn't have to attack. He knows that given time, his army is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah. And the Roach army is just getting weaker and weaker.
Think about what we have. No Infestation Pit, no Hive, no nothing, no 4th base. Now he's moving into the Widow Mines, and YoDa can just wait for 3-3 to finish, and then he can crush him. That's what he's trying to do here. He's making sure that there's no run-by happening. He can also utilize a lot of scans. He
needs to move back, though.
That part of the map, yeah, exactly. That's something that he doesn't see, but now he
all these Overseers going down instantly, which means there's no more detection for the Widow Mines. Only the Banelings can stop them now, and a good split here by YoDa so far. Savage's army is strong, but it's not strong enough. The Concave is good.
Oh
Great
my God.
Widow Mine shots. He's going to get another one. Oh my God.
The Widow Mines, they take down the Banelings, and the split is good for YoDa. He played the micro map a lot, and we can just see the entire Roach army of Savage being taken out here. This has to put nail. That kind of seals the deal. I mean,
GG.
he was kind of dead already after the first attack. Then he went into a second that was already shut down, and the third one, I mean, this is it. YoDa takes the game and is now in a pretty good spot actually after losing the first game today where he looked very shaky. Now suddenly he takes it and is in a 2-1.
The 2-1 here means he's not having that rough day that we thought he might if he lost that game against Flying.
Very shaky is the wrong word. He played really well, I feel, against Songdori. The problem just was the GG timing that he used there. But as it is, he has a 2-1. Songdori, the only player that he lost to so far. Savage is now down on a 1-2. And yeah. Pretty interesting match that we had.
That was you know, a great defense by YoDa, a bit of a weird build by Savage.
Savage basically went into 3 different all-ins.
Yeah, that's very true. Newkirk is our next map, by the way.
Actually, funny as it is, it was 3 times the same all-in, just with more units and more upgrades. But yeah, that unit composition works in the early game, but that does not work if you wait this long.
So, going into Newkirk here, our next map, another 2-player map. You know, we have so many good 2-player maps coming out these days. It used to be always the 4-player maps people like the most.
And we should have now Songdori versus Flying.
I believe so.
That should be the next game here. So that means that we have Zerg versus Protoss. And for Flying, everything is on the line here. If he loses, then he is out.
Yeah. He's got to get himself focused. And you know, so far just looking at his face, it looks like he's kind of in another world right now. And he has to play now his 3rd matchup. Actually, he played a Protoss versus Terran, he played a Protoss versus Zerg. I mean, a Protoss versus Protoss. Now he's playing a Protoss versus Zerg. So, shifting gears in his mind yet again here.
Flying?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Flying didn't play against the Zerg just yet.
Yeah, this is his first one.
He has to beat 2 Zerg players now if he wants. Like, if Flying loses another map, he's out. It doesn't matter if it's the one against Songdori or if it's the one against Savage. He needs to win both of them. And on the other hand, if Songdori actually takes this, then he's 3-0 in the group, and that means he's through.
Yeah.
If Songdori takes this game now, then he will advance to the Premier League in WCS.
So this is our most pivotal game yet. This decides 2 players' fates potentially, depending on how the outcome goes. A very important match on Newkirk.
Newkirk City is also like a pretty cool map as an observer, at least for this particular scenario that we have here.
Yeah, I like it.
And I'm very interested to see what we see out of Flying, because especially against Zerg, he was always super aggressive. But today, I expected a little bit more. I did not think that he would drop both of his games, and especially in the fashion that he did. So it didn't look too strong in the PvP, but of course super. Also the better Protoss versus Protoss player, we talked about that. Songdori, really, so far, very convincing performance, very... I don't want to say too surprising, but when I was looking at the group, he was not the player that I expected to be at rank 1 halfway through the group. But let's see if he can actually follow that up with another win against Flying here. Songdori versus Flying, the GSL up and downs with Columbia.